friends?
My pals.
Awesome. Okay.
That's your response.
I'm Jarrett,
I'm Becca.
and this is Sunday Night Live with Jarrett and Becca. Crap. Okay. Okay. Caught me off guard. I feel like it's been years since we've been here on Sunday Night Live. I don't know. We had a good long week, all of us, I think.
This week felt like 3.
It
in
did.
one.
Yeah, it did for me
I
as
don't know
well.
why.
But we are here. We are here together, and I'm glad you are with us. This is going to be cool. I have news to share with everybody. This is very important news for me personally. So and you guys are going to be the first to hear it.
Ooh.
As of what day was this? I think it was Thursday, Becca. As of Thursday night, I am officially a part of the group chat for the League City Dog Park.
What?
Yes. Yes.
What?
Me and 56 other people. We're in a big group chat, and most of it is, hey, I left my leash there. Can you put it somewhere safe? Or what time can we show up? Or when did the sun set? Or it's been a blast. It's been a wild ride.
League City Dog
Yeah,
Park.
so you go down Bay Area right here,
Mm-hmm.
and by that covered basketball court, there's a good dog park there, and I am part of the family, and it feels good.
Did you go there?
I've been there several times, yeah.
I guess you
I don't just go
connected-
there. I bring my puppy.
I guess you connected with someone there, and they're like, "Let me
Yes.
add you to this chat."
I met this wonderful man named Chris. Chris, if you're watching, hello. Chris is not watching. But Chris asked me why I moved here, and I told him, and he said he leads worship at a church in town.
What
and
church?
he didn't say. I don't know Chris super well.
I don't know Chris
But,
super well.
He's from Australia, though, so I know that much.
Oh.
And so I'll
should
find that out.
ask.
I'll find that out, and I'll keep you all posted
We
on the
might
dog
know.
park business. But that's really exciting news for me. It's a blast. And they really love my puppy down there because she brings life to the joint. She's pretty joyful, if you will.
Oh.
Yeah. That's my dog's name, Joy.
Well, that was good news.
Mm-hmm.
Good information.
Yeah, I thought I'd share that with everybody for the first time tonight.
I was
So.
thinking it was going to be a little bit bigger than that, but
That's huge.
sure.
It's huge news.
If that's what you need in life.
It is. All right. What are we doing tonight?
We are doing Explain That Graham,
Yes.
which is essentially Lauren Zachary herself did a deep dive into mine and Jarrett's social media and got some pictures.
How many?
5.
She said 40, and then whittled it down to like 5 each.
I think we each have about 5 pictures.
Sweet.
But also there's
Bring it on.
there's a little twist on it because Jarrett's mom is in town.
Mhm.
And so we got Jarrett's mom to deep dive into her photo gallery of pictures of Jarrett, and she sent us some, and also we texted my mom and I got her to send Lauren some pictures of me. So there's deep dive of social media
Awesome.
and plus parental deep
Yes.
dive
And we have not seen them,
yeah.
so this is blind.
And we are going to explain to you what's happening in these pictures. And
Yes.
so that's what this is.
Okay, how do we decide who goes first?
I
Do we
think
know?
Jack decides.
Jack decides
Whatever
who goes first.
picture he
You
puts
might be able
on
to
up.
see him. He's way up there.
Oh, here
Okay,
we go.
that's definitely me. This is a picture of my family.
That's me.
This is well. The question is, which one is me?
Oh,
And I need to take a look.
you don't know?
I know which one
Let
I
me
am.
see.
You
Let me look at
you
this.
think? Look, which one do you think I am, Becca?
It's too blurry.
Yeah, you can't zoom
I
in.
was trying to zoom in. I can't tell.
I hope I'm
'Cause
correct.
I
yeah,
immediately
yeah.
thought the left
I,
side, but then I was like,
Here's what I'll tell you guys. I have always been the happier of me and my twin brother. Always. In every situation of all time. I've also been the favorite. I got to when we were born, Jordan had to spend a couple days in, what do you call it? The NICU. But I got to spend those days just with my parents.
those days, that's what did
And
it.
those extra few days really did it in. I've always been the happier of the two of us. So this is probably at my grandma's house in Springfield, Missouri, in front of their fireplace. I'd assume we're going to a Christmas service of some kind, and I have to be age 4 or 5. Yeah, and I'm doing that nice. I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah,
at my mom
okay.
off screen.
I was right.
Yeah, so I do that all the time, right?
So you're the one on the left.
I'm the one on the left sitting on my dad's lap. Maybe you think I look like my dad. Maybe you don't. I've heard the former. I look like my dad. But yeah, so that's Jordan there with some kind of weird smile going on. Somewhere along the line he figured out how to smile. So that's good. Good for him. Good for you, Jordan. So that's number 1. How old do you think I am? Or we are? 3? My goodness. I was a happy 3-year-old, my friends. My mom's off screen. That's why I'm talking to your side of the whatever's on the side of your screen. Anyway, let's go next.
Next picture.
Next picture.
Oh, no.
This is not me.
This is me. Oh, man. What an embarrassing face. I'm like trying to. Oh, my gosh. I feel like. Lauren, did you get this or is this my mom? Man. So this is me and my sister. My sister would be so mad if she knew this was up, too. My sister thinks every picture of her is terrible, though. So that's annoying. I might be 8th grade.
8th grade.
This is at Winter Jam.
Nice.
And
Gotta love Winter Jam.
I think this was you, Lauren. We had Toby Mac was at this Winter Jam because when is Toby Mac not at Winter Jam? I feel like.
Correct. Yeah.
And one of his singers, guys that rapped, came out early and with a computer, and basically if you put either your email, I think it was your email, hey, give us your email and your name, and you can get a picture with us. And so, and we were right there, and I think this might. Oh yeah, it looks like something my mom would send. I think this was when, I think we were at Winter Jam.
So this is a picture with Toby Mac.
No, it wasn't Toby Mac. It was another guy in the band.
Where is this guy?
I don't know. He might be cropped out, or we might be in line for Toby Mac or something like that. But that's what that is.
Cool.
This is my awkward 8th grade face, because my sister was super outgoing and cheerleader and super popular, and I was not. And so she's like, let's do this fun ha face. And so I was like, how do I do this?
Cool.
I'm trying to be cool and I don't know what to do.
Winter Jam is fun.
I feel like I've been 20 times.
Yeah, same. I've probably went 10 years in a row.
Okay, so my mom, that was our thing every year.
Mm-hmm.
We would go, she would take me and my sister. Sometimes she would get us out of school early to go get in line for Winter Jam.
You gotta get in line early.
Yeah. And so it was a thing.
Of course, for us, it was truly a winter jam because it was cold, and we would stand in line for 2 hours out in January in Kansas City. So, and one time we stood in line for a couple hours, and we got right up to the door, and they said we're sold out and sent us home. Half of our big group was in, half was out. It was a bad time.
That's terrible.
So, but yeah, that was probably, it's either Toby Mac or the Newsboys. They're always there.
Fun fact about Winter Jam, really concerts in general. So me and my mom and sister, we all love concerts. And so my mom kind of anytime we could go to a concert when we were younger, she would always take us. And our thing is we like to be right up front. It's, we just won't go if we can't get up front. And so with Winter Jam, we would try to get as close to the door as possible, early. So because it's first come, first serve seating. And so we would have to run inside, and she'd be girls, you know the drill. She'd be if you have to push people down,
yep.
It's okay. You just
you're speaking my language.
You run straight to the front.
We're big concert goers too.
And then she would be start digging anything you can out of your purse and saving seats. And so hairbrush, piece of paper, keys, you're just throwing stuff out on seats and saving them.
Oh my goodness.
We're intense concert people.
One time I went to a Hillsong concert, and a church brought hundreds of feet of rope and themselves roped off aisles and aisles. It was not cool.
That's not cool at all.
They own the place.
That sucks.
It's messed up.
That is.
I'm a big concert goer too. I hope we can go back someday to have concerts.
Same.
All right, what's that next picture? What do we got? Okay.
Ooh.
Okay. I need need to take a strong look. I've seen this picture 1,000 times, but I've never really looked at it. Okay. So if you want to know a piece of my family, we're originally from Southwest Missouri, which is, some would say, farm country. So I wish I could show them. I wish I could show you a picture of a steam engine, which looks like a train, but different. Okay, these things are real big, and I know how to drive one. So I know how to drive trains. So this is
At
taking.
this age?
Well, my grandpa, tractors, steam engines, whatever. I know how to drive them because of this picture. This is we call it the steam engine show. It's called the Ozark Steamorama. My grandpa is the president of. They can't have it this year, sadly. And we would go every single year and drive steam engines around and take them through parades. Me and my brother, my grandpa made us. Well, he didn't make it for us. He actually made it for my mom and her sister. And then we inherited it, a mini steam engine, which looks like a little train, and we could drive it. Super cool. And I've been burned many times at the steam engine show. Several times, yes. But it's fun. It's super hot, and you have to wear jeans because we are what they call exhibitors, and we get this cool ribbon that makes us official, that we get to drive the stuff. It's cool. I'll show you all some pictures sometime of me doing this because it's hard to believe, but I can do it. Yes.
Which one are you?
Okay, that's a really, really good question.
I love how you have to look close.
I'm the one in the back.
I was
right. So I'm the one in the back.
I
have the easier on the eyes face in all these pictures. So hope Jordan's watching. He needs to hear the truth.
Easier on the eyes face.
Yeah, I don't know what we're doing with those sticks, but that's where we are, driving steam engines around in the dirt, and we have a blast. Can't happen this year, sadly. The state said no.
It sounds so country.
It's so country. I'm a city boy at heart, but there's a strand of my DNA that is very much farm.
Amen.
My mom just said amen on the side. And yeah, so that's a little bit about me for sure. And I'm proud of it. It's a good three or 4 days. Cool.
Okay.
Next.
This is me and my sister. Oh, man.
I do this for Becca's laugh. That's it.
This is so funny. Look at my face. Oh, my gosh. Okay. My sister is wearing a Hanson shirt. For you guys that don't, I'm 100% sure y'all don't know who Hanson is, because I only know a few songs from them actually. But she was obsessed with them. It was basically it's like NSYNC, but like before NSYNC. If that makes sense. That makes sense. And so, I think she has some Lemonade. I don't know why. Actually, I bet I know what happened. I'm the younger one on the floor. If you can't tell. My face, I swear, I probably still make that face sometimes. I'm like so sassy. But I bet my mom was like, hey, take a picture together. And I was probably like, no, and just refused. And she's like, Becca, just smile. And so then this was what I got from it. There must have been a party because my sister has like painting on her face. Me and my sister were like, we still are like super different, but like we get along now. But when we were little, we were like polar opposites. And we did not get along very well when we were younger. But that's what, I don't know what we're doing, but I feel like what happened was my mom was like, let's take a picture. Because her and my sister both are crazy about pictures, and I don't like them. And so this was probably me being forced to have a picture.
Fantastic.
Also, I still have a binky in my hand. Why did my mother let me have that so long?
Not now, in the picture.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I look old, like way too old for a binky in my hand. Goodness.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, that's a little embarrassing.
All habits die hard.
All right. Let's. All right, next one.
Next one. Oh my. Oh wow, guys.
This is so cute.
This is obviously me.
Look at it.
And I'm doing what I was always destined to do.
Is that
which
a pan?
It's a pan, and you hit things with it. So I'm infant at this point. It looks like I might have a Thomas the Tank Engine bib going on. Maybe, because me and my brother, we were huge into Thomas the Tank Engine. Like, we had the whole train set, like, you know what I'm talking about. It's like the size of half a ping pong table, and like you drive the little wooden tracks around.
Yeah.
That was like, it's probably worth something at this point, sitting in our basement. Anyway.
Or it's like worth nothing.
Yeah, so I was always destined to be a drummer. Still am. I was banging around on chairs 10 minutes ago with some sticks.
Facts. That's true.
Yes. And I'm sure I'm sitting on a counter in our old house in Missouri. I think. And you can see that the cabinets on the top of my head are still baby-proofed. So this is vintage Jarrett. This is in the 90s, everybody. We're in the 90s at this point.
Barely 90s.
Like
99,
90, like this is probably 98, 99.
When were you born?
97. January of 97.
Oh.
3 years. I spent 3 years in the 90s. Okay? 3 whole years.
I spent 5 years in the 90s. Anybody got 7?
Well, yeah. Okay. Anyway, I'm hitting pots and pans, and I'm still doing that. Interesting enough, I bought a cast iron skillet, and it made me think of Tangled, and throwing and how Rapunzel's slaying people with that skillet. Good movie, by the way. Tangled. That's a strong one. Strong film. We were talking about musicals earlier. Does Tangled classify as a musical?
No.
I think it does.
No Disney movies classify as actual musicals.
We're going to have to disagree on that.
I mean, like, so genre-wise, the movie itself, I guess it would be like a musical because there's songs all intertwined in the movie. But like a classic musical on Broadway, there's never going to be Tangled on Broadway or in Houston. Because some random musicals come to Houston sometimes.
Gotcha. Okay. Well.
But if it does, I'll be like, I was wrong.
Okay. So we'll wait for the day, and everybody will all tell Becca, you were wrong. All right.
Like, okay.
Next one.
Oh my goodness.
Grace us with the explanation.
Oh, I love this picture so much. Doug or Dylan, if you're watching, oh man. If y'all are watching, I would be amazed. Okay, so you guys, everyone had a childhood best friend. Hopefully you did. If not, I'm so sorry. But I had my childhood best friend. His name was Doug, and he's on the left of me in this picture. We met when I was 4, and he was 5. He was like my neighbor across the street, and his sister. He had an older sister, and she was the same age as my older sister, and so we were like destined to all be good friends. And then we started going to church with him, and Dylan is on the right, and he went to the same church that we did, and he was really good friends with Doug, which is on the left, and so we became best buds. And then they both ended up going to the same school I went to, and because Dylan is in my grade, he's on the right, and we ended up graduating together, and now Dylan, he's married, he's got a kid on the way, great life. I'm in pajamas. Me and Dylan are in pajamas because this was like what's it called at school when you do programs? We did a program. What's
a program? What is this?
When you, I don't know how old.
I don't know.
1st or 2nd grade, maybe. 3rd grade, 4th grade. A program. So
yeah.
I don't know. It's when why do we even do those? It's for the parents, really. The teachers create this weird program. We're wearing pajamas in this picture, and we have to sing these songs, and there's motions to it, and it's just for the parents to come and get pictures of us. But it's really a hassle for all of us because
I'm good. I know what we're talking about. They're giving me a hard time off screen, everybody.
But
I was in programs. I did one where I was I want to be. What do you want to be when you grow up? And every single child took a turn in the microphone saying what we want to be. And I said I want to be a basketball player.
Yeah.
And didn't happen. Did not happen.
With his cast iron skillet. I'm going to be a basketball player.
An upward jersey. Literally an upward jersey, and I had a basketball tucked on my arm. I want to be a basketball player. It didn't happen. Thankfully, it didn't happen.
This is such a good picture.
Because then I would have to be in the NBA bubble right now, and it's just,
This is my favorite so far. Dylan and Doug.
When was the last time you saw Dylan and Doug?
I haven't seen Dylan probably since we graduated high school.
Gotcha.
But I saw Doug probably a couple years ago because we would run into each other in Mobile. Because he used to, I worked at Fusackley's when I was in Mobile, and Doug eventually worked at a
You
different.
saw serve tacos there? Is that what it was?
No, chicken.
We talk about this place often. Anyway.
I feel like okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we do.
But he worked at Fusackley's at a different location, and so sometimes if I would like come home, I would purposely like go through his like drive-through if I knew he was there, and like we would see each other that way. And he actually he messaged me. I told Lauren this the other day. He messaged me like 2 days ago. Because we literally grew up together. And if you haven't seen Sister Sister on Netflix, it just got added onto Netflix. It's like a super old 90s like Disney show. But me and Doug used to watch that when we were younger because he had Disney Channel and I did not. So I could only watch Disney Channel shows at his house. And he messaged me and he was like, I cannot watch Sister Sister without thinking of us like watching this after school while we ate dinner. And I was like, I literally can't either. But so yeah, I talked to Doug the other day. But I haven't seen Dylan in a hot minute. Yeah.
Being a twin brother, I bet y'all could guess my Disney Channel show of choice.
Sister, Sister?
No.
Wait,
Sweet Life. Oh, my goodness.
Oh.
It was everything to us. Yeah, because there's twins in Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
But that's a little bit... Did you not watch, like, Even Stevens or anything like that?
That, like... right on the verge of Even Stevens and like Sweet Life and all of those shows, and like That's So Raven and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So that was when I turned 5, I think. Anyways, what's that next picture? Okay.
Ooh, what a good
y'all.
one.
I will say, here it is.
Here it
Ready?
is.
Ready? VBS. That's all you need to know about this picture. Say yes to VBS. That's right. Okay, so what year? This might be the carnival year. That's what I think it is. These are my best friends ever. We're holding a man named Preston. Preston's a band teacher in the middle of Kansas, doing great things. The dude making the dumb face on the very right is Jordan. He's my brother. I don't know what he's doing. In the middle, his name's Nathan. Nathan lives in Fort Worth. I got to see him last week with his wife and his son. Super cool dude. And then that's me, also making a less than desirable face. And we're at VBS from like 6th grade until senior year of high school. We did the music for VBS, the 4 of us. I played drums. Nathan did guitar and sang. Jordan did guitar and sing. And then Preston's a band teacher, and he's a professional musician at all the things. He can play literally every instrument very well. So Preston, props to you. But mostly he played bass, I think some keyboard. And I think for this, exactly wearing the pink caps is probably the rap we did. We did several raps where the 4 of us would barbershop quartet and then turn into a rap kind of deal. No. Guys, we were super good at the VBS music. Absolutely. There was always choreography, always. I don't know if there are any videos of this, but we were pretty awesome at the VBS music, and the 4 of us are really tight. Last time we saw each other was at Jordan's wedding in August, about a month ago, 2 days ago, August 2nd. So, they're good dudes. Love them all. I met Preston in 3rd grade. I met Nathan in 5th grade, and Nathan has said that the first time he met Jordan and I, he knew he would not be good friends with us, and we proved that wrong real quick.
That's funny.
And let's see.
He knew.
Yeah.
He decided these twins are not it. I'm not sticking around with these.
Yeah, but those are my boys. We're probably freshmen, sophomores in that picture, so good times. Pink hats. Gotta love the pink caps. I'm pretty sure that's the carnival year. I don't know the theme, what the theme was. But if you played me the song, I would know it instantly, every word, every motion. That's just how VBS songs go. I'm sure you guys are aware.
It's a curse.
It is a curse. You're not wrong. All right. Let's see that next one.
Okay.
Those are my boys.
Is there another one?
Is there more? I don't know. Yes.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
This is me and old Callie.
Oh, that's Callie. Awesome.
Let's see. We're in the car, obviously. I don't remember when this was. I know this is on my Instagram. What's the caption, Lauren? Callie's perfect. Oh. Okay. Yeah. So this so Callie's my dog, but at home at my dad's house, they have like a puppy there. Well, he's not a puppy anymore. But he came as a puppy. Callie is 9 years old, I think, and so this dog is probably like 5 or 6, I think, at my dad's house, and he's like just a big old goof, new boot goofing, and so all like he's just like if a dog had a voice, his would be like all the time, and so. And so one time I took my dog and my dad's dog to the park, like the dog park, Mobile, Alabama Park, not League City Dog Park, because I didn't live out here yet.
Hey, we have a group chat, okay?
We didn't have a group. Well, yeah, we didn't have a group chat. But at the time, he was still their dog. I named him Riley, but that never stuck. And so they just named him Chubby and call him Chub all the time.
That's fantastic.
I didn't think that would actually stick. I tried to Riley make that stick, but now I come home and I'm just like Chub. any answers to it. Anyway, but he was still like a puppy at this time, and so I oh my gosh, I tried to take both of them to the dog park and it was a disaster because he was wild and Callie was just feeding off the chaos too. She's super good until she's a little older now, but back then she'd be like, oh, mischief, I'm there. I won't start it, but I'm going to be in the background and I'm going to encourage it and I won't get caught. You'll get caught.
Yes.
And I'll do all the damage, but you'll take the blame.
Because we love our dogs.
Yes, she is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, today we were laying down and she does this little thing and she'll lay right here in the side of my arm and her face was towards my legs, and so I flipped her over so her head would be on my arm. And she does this little curl up ball thing to where she sticks her feet in between my hands, and so I'm holding her. Oh, it's so cute.
That's awesome. My dog can't sit still. All right.
One day you'll get there.
Do we have more? Yeah, she's 5 months old. So.
Ooh.
Oh my!
This
I mean, God, yeah, this is me. It's me and my mom. Oh man,
that does not look.
It's
like
got to
you
be
at all,
Halloween. That's me and Charlotte right there.
That's me and Charlotte
for sure. I still have that chiseled jawline going
Stop.
on.
I cannot. Oh my gosh!
For whatever
Are you
reason,
12 in this?
Probably. No, 12's too old for this. For certain. I don't know. I'm still in elementary school. So, for whatever reason, I decided to go as a prisoner as Halloween for this year.
Oh my gosh! I didn't even know that was a costume. I thought that was just normal clothes.
Okay.
I mean, we all do dumb things when we're 10. I'm about to cry.
That was best joke of the night. Give it to Becca. Yeah, so I decided to go as a prisoner to Halloween. This is probably, if you take a look at the background, it might be at elementary school when you would take your costume to the school. We used to do, we used to do this I don't know, it's kind of like Falls Festival at the school, and I think we would wear costumes to the school and do something around there. It was like a fall activity. And that might be what that is. We also used to do Halloween at our church. We did years and years and years ago. They probably called it Fall Festival or the Harvest Fest, whatever you call it. But it was definitely Halloween. Wear a costume to the church and get candy, which has ceased at this point.
Your hair looks very blonde in
this
picture.
So here's the deal, you all. If you look at me, up until I became a freshman in high school or maybe middle school, I didn't do anything to my hair. I just You might as well cut it with a bowl. It was just nothing at all. No product, no nothing in there.
Shampoo, at least?
Well, of course I did that,
Okay.
but other than that, like nothing at all. Woke up, that was how it was going to be. And then one day I went and got a really short haircut to be kind of like it is now. And I also got my braces off that week. So I was a new creation. And that was like when I was a sophomore in high school when I finally cleaned my act up and got off the streets.
Made
So,
your own glow up happen.
yeah, I made my glow up happen and got my braces off, got a short haircut, new creation, sophomore in high school.
Made new in Christ.
Yes, that's right. Yeah. And let's see. That's all the information I have for you, I think. I don't know what my brother decided to go towards. He was, I don't know. He was SWAT team.
He was bringing
That
you
is
in.
terrible news. So he was bringing me in to prison, which seems backwards, seems flipped because I'm the good one. But
You have like actively been saying that you were the better twin all night.
I didn't notice.
Because you're like, my face is easier on the eyes to look at.
Dude,
I'm the good one. I'm
everybody
more
says
happy
that.
in life.
Well,
Uh,
I don't know.
good picture.
Yeah, it is a good
one.
picture. Yes. We have a big chest in the basement of the house in Kansas City. A big chest full of costumes. For some reason, we never threw them away. So I could probably find that for you. I won't, but
You need to
it's there.
wear it.
I could find it. I don't think the hat would
Wear
fit.
it.
Okay. I eventually grew out of my prison uniform, both physically and spiritually, mentally. I am no longer a prisoner. Okay. You know who else is no longer a prisoner? The boy we're gonna look at in the Bible study
Oh.
in just a minute.
Oh.
And this was not planned, everybody. Do we have more pictures? We have one more.
One
Awesome.
more of me. Oh, how cute am
Wow.
I? It's so cute.
That is.
My hair is luxurious as a toddler because I definitely have a diaper on in this. You can tell. My pants are sticking out. I don't know how old I am. I think this is a birthday party. I've seen this picture before. I think this might be my birthday party.
Nice. I always had to share a birthday party.
Oh, that's so
I
sad.
know.
But yeah, that's me as a toddler, however old you wear diapers.
See,
I
the
don't know.
younger you get, the harder it is to
Yeah.
explain.
Because I think that it is a birthday party. And I bet, so my hair was super long, as you can see, and curly. It's always been naturally curly until now. It's like flattened out as I've gotten older. Well, I straightened it today, so it's super straight right now. But, well, it's not as curly as that anymore. But it used to be. Like high school pictures, my hair was like this long, and it was always like the wavy look.
Sure.
But so my mom, I was like such a tomboy growing up. I didn't want any, like, my mom would always tell me I would be outside like playing and like with chalk on the sidewalk, and my hair would be like all in my face, and I would always just be like lifting it over and like knocking it out of my face with my whole arm like that. And she'd be like, Becca, just let me put it up in a ponytail. And I'd be like, no, don't touch it. Because she would make it look all pretty and cute and be like, oh, how cute is she? And I'd be like, no, I'm not cute. I don't want to be cute. And so I bet a lot of money that my mom, I was forced that hairstyle. And it's only a little bit too. Because I wouldn't let her touch all of it. I would like go get my hair cut when I was little, and I just like didn't want to style it. Oh my gosh, it looked terrible. It was like super short and like don't want to touch it, just like let it be and do its thing. And my mom would want to like blow dry it and like curl it underneath, and so it would like curl in towards my face. And she would like talk to the hairdresser and be like, can you please talk to Becca and just like let me do her hair. And so half the time she was cutting my hair, she'd be like, okay, but are you going to let your mom do your hair? And I'm like, no. I hated my mom doing my hair. She would always want to like paint my nails too. And I'd be like, don't touch me. No, I don't want it. My sister like ate all that up though because she loved it. But I was the opposite.
Gotcha.
I did karate when I was like 8.
Oh, man. I didn't know that.
You didn't know I did?
Now
I have
I
a
feel-
black belt in karate.
What?
I have a black belt.
That's amazing.
No.
She says no
I used to
moves.
be okay. So, oh my gosh, karate was so fun. I did it from like 8 to 12, I think, and I was like the only. Now
You
a
earned
ton
a
of
black belt in 4 years?
yeah. And so I was determined. But like now, a lot of girls probably do karate. But like back then, I was the only girl in my class, and I was like one of the youngest too. And so I was always the only girl with like a bunch of just guys. And so we would spar, which is like when you have pads on and you just like not pretend fight, but you like fight, but you just have pads on so you don't get hurt. And my dad loves this story. One time there was this boy who like didn't want to fight me because I'm a girl, and I like punched him in the stomach or something like that. And my dad always says, you made this boy cry because you punched him in the stomach. And he came running to his dad, and I had to go apologize to his dad because my daughter punched his son in the stomach and he's crying. And we did like grappling classes, which is literally just like wrestling, not like WWE wrestling, but like actual tactical wrestling. And there's this guy like 3 times as big as I was, like huge dude. I was, and I think he was kind of like, I'm going to go easy on her. And then saw I was about to win, and he was kind of like freaking out, like, oh God, I have to win. Anyway, I have a black belt in karate.
Wow.
That's
Do you
fun.
have a physical black belt somewhere?
If so, my dad has it somewhere.
Gotcha.
I have no idea where it would be.
I know nothing about the martial arts.
It's fun. It
Nothing.
can be fun. I've never been in a fight though,
That's good.
but I'm like always
good.
ready.
Watch out, world.
Watch out.
We're out there. All right.
Okay.
Well, my friends, we're going to talk about Joseph, who was a prisoner for a while, for 2 years. If you remember, are you going to fade away
Yeah.
into the back?
I'm gonna
It's like a portal.
slip on out of here.
Okay. All right, my friends. This is not my Sonic drink. This is product placement, by the way. Unless it is my Sonic drink. I don't know. Awesome. So here we have a Sonic drink. All right, my friends. So we're going to get back into Joseph in Genesis. So if you've got a Bible, open up to Genesis 41. Last week we looked at Joseph, and everything is going wrong in his life, okay? He's framed for a crime. He's imprisoned about that crime, and then he interprets those 2 dreams while he's in prison, and then he's forgotten about by those 2 dudes. One, he's forgotten because one of them actually dies, like he said he would, and then the cupbearer goes back to work for Pharaoh, and he forgets about him. So everything seems to be going wrong, and Joseph responds. This is what we talked about. You can go back and watch it from last week. Joseph responds with faithfulness to God. He lives his life with the mission of making God look good, even if it means hardship for him, which it absolutely did. And now we're having chapter 41, and we're going to see a flip. Good news is a-coming. So he interprets those 2 dreams in prison. And Pharaoh in chapter 41, this is where we're going to be. I'm not going to read the whole chapter because it is long. I'm going to paraphrase it. Pharaoh, he has a dream, and here's the dream. 7 good-looking cows rise out of the Nile River. And then 7 thin, ugly-looking cows rise out of the Nile River, and they all go stand on the side. And then those 7 ugly and thin cows eat the 7 fat cows. And that's the end of the dream number 1. He wakes up, he's startled by it, and then he goes back to sleep, and he has the same dream, but this time with grain, like ears of grain, okay? So 7 good ears of grain, and then they eat the 7 bad ears of grain. It is a wild, wild dream, and he has no idea what's going on. So he calls his magicians, and he calls his wise men to come and interpret this dream, and no one can. We've been talking a lot about interpreting dreams lately here at church, and this is the same, that he is dreaming these dreams, and nobody can interpret them. So the cupbearer, he is thinking back, and he remembers Joseph. Joseph is from prison, that Hebrew dude, and he explains that Joseph, hey, he got both of our dreams correct. And this was 2 years ago, but I remember him, and he got my dream correct. I'm standing here today because he got this dream correct. So Pharaoh to stand in front of Pharaoh. So this is going to be verses 15 through 16 in Genesis 41. He says, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. I have heard it said of you that when you hear a dream, you cannot interpret it. No, you can interpret it. My mistake. That Joseph can interpret it. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. So right there already, Joseph is turning it back on God. This is all on God. So, and here is Joseph's interpretation. After Pharaoh tells him the dream, both dreams, he explains them to him in a little bit more detail, saying about how even after the thin cows ate the fat cows, they didn't look any different, that kind of detail. Joseph says, hey, here's what's going to happen. We're going to have 7 years of abundance, 7 years of plenty, and then you're going to have 7 years of famine. In Egypt, in the land. This is what's coming for you. You need to be prepared. And then Pharaoh's like, hey, that sounds terrible. Also, well, that sounds good and then terrible. And he makes Joseph in charge of all of this. He says, Joseph, you're going to lead us through these 14 years. So he makes him second in command over all of Egypt, and because of Joseph's insight, Joseph prepares Egypt for the famine, and he saves up food as they go through those 7 years of abundance, which is very smart, very wise of him. And then even a bunch of nations come to Egypt to buy grain from Egypt. So there are a few really good things that I want to point out in this passage. We're going to scan over this whole passage and see how it ties into Joseph, and then see how Joseph's story ties into the whole Bible, ties into Jesus, and then ties into us. Sound good? Cool. Here we go. Number one, during this whole story that we've been talking about with Joseph, he gets enslaved by his brothers, he gets imprisoned, he gets forgotten about. We've seen a lot of evil throughout these chapters. But we've also seen that God continues to work even in the midst of wickedness and sin. Remember, Genesis 50:20 says that you meant it for evil, but God meant it for good. That's like a theme of Genesis, that God is working behind the scenes to make good things happen for the people, for his people. So God can work in the good times and the sunny, green pasture days, but also he can work in the storms. A second thing I want to mention is that Joseph's goodness, especially in chapter 41, Joseph's goodness points to the fact that God can bring up a righteous person right out of all of this evil, right out of all this wickedness. So while he's working in the storm, he can make good things happen for his people, and he can also turn us into righteous people. He can make us more holy when we allow him to form us and chisel us, even when we're in a storm. So Joseph stores this grain, and he was preparing to give it to other nations. If you remember back to Abraham, a really important theme in the Bible, God tells Abraham that his people are going to be numerous like the stars, and that they're going to be fruitful, and that they're going to multiply, okay? And that they're going to be people that blesses the world, that blesses the nations. This is a crucial charge and command given to the people of God, that they need to bless the nations. And we're getting a taste of that in this chapter, because Joseph is going to use the gifts that God has given him to bless the nations when they enter this time of drought, the 7-year period. So he's going to bless his neighbors. But we need to remember that this is just a picture of that blessing, that this is just a picture of what God is going to do to bless the nations, because these nations are not being blessed by Egypt, by the Egyptian people. They're just being blessed by their food. They're not being graced with the presence of God at this point. They're just getting this grain. So we have a picture of Joseph, God's people, blessing the nations, but it's an incomplete fulfillment of what God told Abraham is going to happen. So this is where we need to see, where does this come fulfilled? Where does this idea of blessing the nations become a reality? And this is where Jesus comes in the story. So notice these parallels that we see throughout here. Just as Joseph is righteous, Jesus is righteous. Remember, we see extraordinary righteousness from Joseph in these chapters. Like out of ordinary, not normal, only can be inspired by God. It has to be a work of God, how righteous Joseph is. Jesus is righteous as well. Joseph was tempted by Potiphar's wife, and Jesus is tempted, but he's tempted at a whole nother level than what Joseph was. It says that, Hebrews says that Jesus was tempted in every single way. So he knows what we're going through. He is sympathetic to our needs. So he was tempted. Jesus was tempted. Joseph, he became a servant. He became a slave, not by his own will, by his brother's will. Jesus becomes a slave. Jesus becomes a servant who is going to suffer on our behalf, like Isaiah talks about, that Jesus is going to suffer on our behalf. The difference here is that Jesus does it willingly. Jesus comes on his own accord, on his own terms, and he's going to suffer on the cross for you and me in order to bring salvation and make it available to us. So right here in Genesis 41, we're giving a foreshadow of something that Jesus is going to do, that a Messiah is coming, and he is going, through his death and resurrection, is going to bless the world. And how is he going to do that? He's going to do that through his church. So this is how this affects us. Genesis 41 has implications for you and me today. And it's really this, that God brings good out of evil, especially in this year 2020, a time of, just struggle. We've all had these hard times dealing with COVID, and especially now going back into the swing of school, very strange times. But then also the political atmosphere that our country is going through. It's not a great time. We've seen wickedness. We have seen sin. We've seen the effects of sin around us this year. But God can bring good out of evil, and we've seen that all the way back in Genesis. We're 40 chapters into creation at this point, and we've seen that God can work evil for good. And he even plunged his own son into that evil so that he can make us a part of God's plan in order to bless the world. He's going to do that through the power of the gospel. And that's the point of Genesis 41. It's Romans 8:28. For those who love God, all things work together for the good of the purpose that he has called them to. Romans 8:28. So God brings good out of evil, and he does this not just so you and me can accept that gift and kind of tuck it away and keep it to ourselves, but he does it so that we may be challenged to go into our communities and to be a blessing, to go in and be a vessel, to go in and be the light of Christ that just radiates the gospel. If anybody ever asks you, hey, what's different about you? Your answer ought to be, I'm changed by Jesus. Jesus has come and he has given me the gift of his Holy Spirit and forgiveness of my sins, and that frees me up to be a blessing for you. You can do this with your speech, your actions, how you are at home, how you function at home. The question is, how can you bless your neighbor? If you want to know who your neighbor is, it's everybody around you. And I think that's the challenge with Genesis 41, that God gives us gifts. Namely, he has given us the gift of salvation, and he does not expect us just to hoard those things. Like Joseph could have just kept all of that, and he could have avoided the famine for 7 more years for Egypt and kept it all to himself. But that is not what God has called him to do. He's not what God has called us to do. He has called us to accept the gift of salvation, but then to be a blessing to those around us, to be lights in the darkness, and there is much darkness that needs light in these days. So that's Genesis 41 for you. We're going to keep going through Joseph. He is an amazing story, and he has got a lot more to come. And ultimately, we've said it a lot, but we're going to see Jesus through these passages, and we're going to see a lot of lessons about having extraordinary righteousness in a very uncertain time. Okay, so that's where we are in Genesis. We will see you back to do Genesis 42 and on. Would you pray with me? God, thank you for this story where Joseph shows us a righteousness, a goodness that can seem foreign to us. But Lord, it shows us that we have been called, charged, commanded to bless our neighbor. And I pray that we would do that by the help of your Holy Spirit, that you would show us opportunities to be a blessing to those around us. And Lord, that we would live our lives with a purpose with a mission to make God look good with our lives. So be with us this week. Be with us tomorrow. Most of us get a day off. And Lord, just be with us this week. And I pray all this in Christ's name. Amen. All right, my friends, we had fun with you tonight. Those pictures, they had some embarrassing moments. But that's what we're about, right? We want you guys to know us. Keep this in mind. September 20th, we are starting Sunday school in the church, in person, in groups. Get psyched for that, because we are psyched for that. So that's 2 Sundays away, September 20th. We are starting Sunday school. Keep that in mind. Get prepared. It's going to be at the 9:30 hour here at the church. And I'm seriously excited to start just opening God's Word and discussing it with you guys on a regular basis. Like, seriously, that's going to be awesome. I've waited very long for that. So have an awesome night. Love you guys. Peace out.